Guys, welcome to the city of Las Vegas, State, Nevada. Today we'll see with you what kind of things there are in the world. Behind us is a folding house that is going for 48 minutes. And Elon Musk also lives in such a house when the city of Boca Chica, Texas, arrives during the SpaceX rocket launches. What's what? 48 minutes, is it even true? Review, let's go. So guys, we are visiting the American company Boxabl, which is engaged in inexpensive folding houses, and what you see behind us is already the first stage of this folding house, and this is the conveyor on which the folding house is assembled. This company was founded in 2017, the founders are called Paolo and Galliano Tiramani, and just 4 years after the foundation they have a huge production, 200 people in the state, as well as a queue of up to 70,000 houses ahead. What is behind us is on the rise, starting from the panel and ending there is an almost finished house. This house is called Casita. This is the main product, the main house, the only option that they are producing and selling right now. And as you remember, we showed you different small houses like tiny house in America and around the world. This is not some kind of news. But this particular house is almost ready. From the moment when it comes packed to your site to the moment when this house is assembled, 48 minutes pass. So let's go into one semi-finished house. Here the process is already underway, then it will reach the final stage. It is folded and sent to the customer himself. The size of each house is 5.7 by 5.7 meters. The height is 2.9 meters. Quite good, by the way. The second tier can also be done here somehow. The weight of the whole structure is about 4 tons. The block of the house it can stand as one. That's just one house, and the whole building, that is, you can connect 2, 3, 8 blocks and build a 5-story house. This is the coolest feature, well, one of the coolest, so officially you can do it. But what worries potential buyers the most is what it's all made of, so they write that the materials of this house are steel, concrete, foam insulation and laminated panels. This structure is fireproof, waterproof and also resistant to mold, and even to hurricane wind. Of course, the main feature of this house that it is inexpensive. Here of course, we are talking about American prices. Thanks to the modular design, thanks to such a conveyor, production costs are reduced by almost 50% compared to houses of similar dimensions and square footage. Another point at the expense of which you can greatly reduce the cost is transportation. This is already a tested and packed house. This is the whole house. Its width fits on a regular van. And before they pack it up, it looks like this. All that's left to do here before it looks like this is to fix what is lying badly, put everything back in place. Lift this panel, it will snap, they put on a film and the house goes to the customer, then comes to the site. Within 48 the furniture is put in minutes, the refrigerator is put in, and we have a ready-made house. We're coming in. Here we are inside. It's completely the finished house has an area of 35 square meters. Many are ready to write a comment, but some nonsense. I will put it cheaper. I will build it better. Listen, different configurations are available. You can make 2 bedrooms. You can make a wall here. Moreover, let's figure it out. Look, you don't overpay for this by default. In the next version there will be a wall here. The option with a wall will probably be cheaper because such a design, also costs money. There may also be 2 bedrooms, the first and the second. There may be a wall. There may be an ordinary partition. Such a set was made here to have more air. This basic configuration is actually what is being sold right now. And of course the main question is, what won't be here when you buy it all? And the coolest thing is the answer to this question. There won't be 2 things, a bed and this sofa. All other appliances, refrigerator, plumbing are already included in the price by default. Mixer, refrigerator is such a big double-sided. Gas stove, microwave, cabinets the air conditioner is also worth it. The unit is located outside, and of course the bathroom and also such a washing machine. The door is sliding, you can put an ordinary classic door. The bathroom is large, for such a small house there is a hefty bath. In principle it was possible to make less, to make a pantry. And this is a toilet, and by the way, this house is constantly open, no one protects it. There is no security here, and you can enter directly from the street and test it. Shower cabin. The ceiling height is 2.9 meters, and you probably also thought about it that it is quite possible to arrange a second tier here. We already have a large double bed, but if you put something like this, with a tier at the top, there will be a 2-story bed. The finishing is already included, but you can paste the wallpaper later, as there is time, and put the furniture bed and sofa.
Hey!
Guys, great luck.
Very nice to meet you.
This is one of the founders of the company.
So please tell us, how the idea was born and why?
Yeah, absolutely. By the way, so my name's Galliano. I'm one of the founders of Boxabl. Basically, we set out in 2017 to kind of revolutionize housing. When we looked at the market and the way houses are built, we saw like a big gap because all the modern products in the world, whether it's an automobile, a sneaker, a television, they're built on an assembly line in a factory. And as a result, it's efficient, it's low cost, it's high quality, but housing's not. Housing is built one at a time, by hand, out in the weather. So we wanted to figure out a way to transition buildings into the factory so that we can mass produce them and at an amazing price and make them available. And we had the original idea to fold up the house to make it shippable because we saw that the reason housing is not built in a factory is it's just too big to ship. And although factory-built housing does exist, they're shipping these wide loads and it becomes very expensive.
But how is it possible that the company was founded in 2017 and now 2022 and we are standing in a brand new factory?
What do you think? It's pretty good, right? Pretty quick?
Yeah, it's awesome. But how is it possible?
Yeah, so basically it was end of 2017. We really just had a website and some 3D renders, and people got interested. And then after they got interested, we started doing some testing and research on alternative building materials, and we built the first prototype, and we delivered that prototype to a show actually in Las Vegas to showcase to people, and people thought it was cool. Last year in January, we said we're ready to do this, so we signed a lease on this building. It was just a brand new building, empty shell, no electric, no heating, nothing. In about September, I think, of last year, we moved in. By middle of October, we built the first house. Now it's January, we have built about 40 houses, and we're at a rate now of about 2 per day. We're using different building materials, different manufacturing methods. It's all experimental and new. So, a lot of things went right. So a little bit of luck,
yes.
but mostly just sheer persistence to make it happen.
But speaking about innovation materials and experiments, did you have enough time to test the construction?
Oh, it'll be fine. I'm just kidding.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah, so basically, from 2017 up until now, basically, we've been doing testing the whole time. And although it is all new and we have patents and everything because there's a lot of invention there, we did base a lot of this stuff off of existing principles. So the main method that these are built with is the laminated panel system. So it's basically different substrates glued together. It's called a structurally insulated panel, and that's something that we didn't invent. We have a version of it that's a little bit different, but that's kind of an existing thing. So we can look at existing test data from existing methods of doing things. We put our spin on it. Then we do a lot of in-house testing where we basically build panels, we break them, we burn them, we do all kind of different stuff. And then we also send them out to a third party. So the third party then does the tests, which then gives us the approvals from the government to actually sell them.
As soon as I received the package, what do I need to do with plumbing, electricity, and foundation?
Yeah, so everything kind of within the walls is done. So kitchen, bathroom, electric, windows, flooring, lighting, that's all done and ready to go. When it arrives on your site, you're basically going to prepare a foundation for it to sit on. It doesn't actually need a foundation. You could just unfold it on the grass.
Oh, really? On the grass?
Or on the parking lot or whatever. But in most cases, you're going to want to permanently affix it to the ground to make it real properties, to make it so you can get a loan on it, to make it real estate. And in that case, it can bolt to any foundation type. Then the utilities are all just going to kind of plug into the exterior. That's another little innovation we have. where, for example, the plumbing doesn't actually go through the floor, it goes through the wall. So then it requires a little bit less planning because then you don't have to worry about having the plumbing go through your foundation. It's kind of an afterthought. You just plug it in the exterior. So it's pretty minimal. We've gotten the bulk of the work done
Like
in the
RV,
factory.
right? Kinda.
Yeah, exactly. It's just gonna
RV
just gonna connect and
Yes.
good to go. So that's what you're doing with ours. Yeah.
How hard for me to fold it back and move to another place?
Yeah, absolutely possible. With our units that we've tested, we've folded them, unfolded them, taken them all over the place with no problems. And it's just going to depend on what your plan is. So if you want to drop it down, if you want to build a deck around it, if you want to fix it to the foundation, if you want to add a different roof style, that's just going to be all money that you're going to spend.
Nice.
That if you fold it up and take it away, that you're going to lose. But if the plan is like, I just want to unfold it here for 6 months, I'm not going to spend money trenching in electric through the dirt, I'm just going to plug it in with an extension cord and I'm good to go, then yeah, fold it up, take it away, no problem. It's totally meant to be able to do that. If you build a house in Florida, you will build it for high winds. If you build it in Las Vegas, you'll build it for the heat. If you build it in California, you'll build it for the earthquake. It won't be the same house in each place, but
Yes.
our product is the same house in every place that can handle the worst conditions of all of those, because we wanted something that we could mass produce on a scale that was huge and that it works everywhere with one product.
Can you ship it in Russia?
Yeah, I think we could put it on a boat and set it there. I think it might cost a lot to ship,
Right.
but hopefully we'll have a factory over there one day.
Oh, really?
We are planning to kind of share the technology around the world. So once we finish perfecting this factory, we learn everything. We learn all the processes and procedures, and we have this formula that we can replicate elsewhere. We are accruing a list of interested parties all around the world, actually, who are saying to us, hey, we have a housing need in our country, we need a factory in our country. So hopefully in the future, we'll have companies that set up basically Boxabl franchise or licensee factories in other countries, and we can grow this thing really big, really quickly.
We wish you good luck.
Good, thank you so much. Cool.
Thank you.
So guys, now the most interesting thing is, what is the price? Here is what you have just seen. Everything that is inside except for the sofa and the bed is $49,500. You only need to pay extra for 3 things. The first is a piece of furniture, a bed and a sofa. The second is some kind of foundation, and the third is transportation. There are ready-made folded white units there. They are put on the platform, and, in principle, if you are able to deliver it yourself, here's a Nissan, cling and let's go, you can bring it perfectly. If you do not want to do this, call the company, they will bring everything to you and assemble everything, and it is relatively inexpensive. It is also worth recalling the concept of all this. This is not permanent housing. This is not some kind of house or cottage in which people live permanently. Although many people quite like this format and they really order themselves, live in this house permanently. This is rather a temporary option. There is a tornado in America. Houses were demolished in some city, they bring this, put it up, and people have housing. The US Army has ordered several such kits when they have some kind of military exercises far from their base, and where there is no permanent housing, they bring this, and the officers live in these houses. Then these houses are folded and taken away to some kind of base. When the need arises again, they are brought and laid out again. I am happy to read your comments. Boxabl folding houses, thank them. We will indicate the link at the bottom. Come and see. We are happy to tell you what things happen in the world. We are waiting for your comment. See you so far.